and welcome to For the Drive. After what seems like an absolute age, the lockdown rules are slowly starting to lift, meaning that people can now get out and enjoy their cars in the nice weather. And what a treat it's been to be invited to present another episode of Friends of For the Drive with this. So what we have here is the BMW M135i. A few of you may know, if you've spoken to me personally, that I'm not the biggest fan of BMW. The E92 M3 was probably the last BMW that I would be desperate to buy because it has a V8. But the modern ones are not. I've lost a little bit of love for the more modern ones. But no one can deny that this isn't a formidable hot hatch. A 2-litre turbocharged engine, inline 4 engine. They've dropped the 6 again, which is not ideal, but it's still rapid quick. 306 brake horsepower and can get you to 0 to 60 in about 4.7 seconds. So yeah, definitely a hot hatch. The design aspects of it, the big grille is a big problem for a lot of people. I am one of those. I think it's too big on such a small car. And I'm not a fan of the grills that they've done on the bigger models either. If someone said to me you could design your dream 1 Series BMW, I'd take the front end of the previous gen and take the rear end of this and splice them together, because I think those two would work quite nicely. But from factory, this thing is rapid quick. It sounds great. Again, for a 2-litre inline 4, it is sounds nice and throaty. Again, BMW and Performance exhaust do a great job of that. So I am very interested to see what it's like to drive. So I think let's start it up and listen to it. So I am behind the driver's seat for the first time, actually, with the owner, Katie. Thank you very much for coming out and letting me drive your car. Normally we do this the other way around the first time, but Katie decided to let me take the wheel straight away, so I'm going to enjoy this.
Not too much.
Yes, I will. So you went from a diesel 3 Series, didn't you, into this?
Yeah.
So apart from the fact that obviously you're a fan of BMW, but what kind of made you pick this over the previous gen, or even a mark or another brand? Which way am I going?
Oh god, that way.
We're navigating, sorry.
Mainly I wanted something a bit practical that I could use daily without having fear of death. And I see so many horror stories of people in M140i's just running out of talent.
Yes, I suppose that's probably one of the big things that they modified from the previous gen of these, is the fact that it's now obviously 4-wheel drive. So you've just got so much more capability with grip.
But I have changed the tyres on these from the Bridgestones because they were awful.
Oh really?
And they didn't last at all.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I've got Michelin's on these.
What, Pilot Sport 4s?
Yeah.
Nice.
S's.
S's, yes. That sounds nice. This is technically your only, it's your only car kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so as you say, you kind of need something that could do
everything in one package.
Fit loads of rubbish and stuff in the boot, and
yeah.
Obviously, do the dogs go in here?
Yes.
I'm assuming that's what that
yes.
cover is at the back.
They have been sick a couple of times.
Oh no! No. That's not nice.
mainly because I go around bends too really.
Well, yeah, if you're going to give a dog motion sickness by going around bends too fast, then I'm sorry, but that's...
Like, he'll literally get out of the car and be like, oh! Sorry.
He has to go and lay down for a while, could recover.
He does.
As you say, you bought this to be like an all-rounder. Would you say that's fulfilled that? What would you say that you like about it? As you say, you do sometimes miss the diesel, well, your previous one.
I miss the diesel fuel consumption, because obviously the difference is massive.
Yes.
But this just ultimately ticks all the boxes and it does what it says, so it's fine. And it's fun.
Does this put a smile on your face more than 3 Series?
Yeah. I miss the comfort, because obviously these seats are not made for people with large bums.
Sizable posteriors.
Yes. And they're just a bit firmer.
Yeah. I mean, the problem, like the 3 Series is always going to be more comfortable because it's a bigger car. Like, sadly, that it's...
And it's...
I suppose if you compare...
It's not a sports car.
No.
If you...
I mean, the best comparison obviously would be then to the M3.
Yeah.
Which I must admit, I've been in a couple of the F80s, and for a fairly stiff vehicle, they are quite comfy.
Yeah. But then I find this car more comfortable than Mercedes. Even a luxury saloon.
Yeah.
This is more comfortable.
Yeah.
For me. So, and it's definitely more comfortable than a Honda Jazz.
But then, to be fair, most things are, I would say.
That car is just painful.
What would you say is your biggest bugbear with it? You can't say fuel consumption because that's
it.
Oh, really? No.
Probably the exhaust noise.
Really? What don't you like about it?
It's just not as loud as I would like it to be.
You can just take the valve out, you know.
I know, but I don't like modifying my cars.
No, true.
It's just one of the things I won't do. If I wanted a faster car, I'd just buy one.
As we were talking earlier, this one is not.
Flap.
Yeah, it's a flap. So basically, it's based on the actual gases passing through the exhaust instead of a fixed valve which you can open or close. Is it a thing that you'd never consider buying an aftermarket exhaust system and have it properly fitted?
I don't think I'd ever do it.
No?
I think I'd just learn to live with it. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh, wish it was louder.
I mean, I'm in 8th at the moment, so it's obviously I'm not pushing it because we're sat in traffic. You can definitely hear a little tone low down, which is nice. It's like the fact that we're having the conversation relatively quietly. You know, it's fine. You've got very little road noise coming in, and although I can hear it, it's not like encompassing.
No.
Could be louder inside the cabin.
Yeah.
Could be.
But then at least it's not fake.
No.
Because that would really annoy me.
And that's one of the things that annoyed me. I mean, it's not my car, so a friend of mine bought one of the first F80 M3s. Went out in it a few times. He let me drive it. It was a lovely, powerful machine. I didn't like the fact that it was pumping fake noise through the speakers.
So you remember the Lexus Hybrid?
Yes.
Fake noise inside the cabin.
No.
Of a V6.
No.
It's like, I don't want this noise.
No.
Outside.
Yeah. Oh, no. So, if you're going to do it, at least have the option to turn it off. So if you went, okay, that's it, this is going, for whatever reason, what would you then think about stepping into? Again, thinking about, would you try and go for 2 cars so you can have a fun car and then a sensible car, like go back to a diesel? Would you try and find another all-rounder, but maybe like step up and go bigger, or what would you do?
So what I really want is a Lotus.
Which one?
I don't care.
Oh, right. You just want the badge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want a Lotus. So I would either have one of those and then a sensible car.
Yep.
But then with the Lexus, it's kind of like you can't have a Lotus, a Lexus, and a sensible car.
I don't see why you can't. I mean, there's nothing to technically stop you apart from the budget, really.
V8 Lotus, then practical car.
But the Lotus would actually be fairly fuel efficient in comparison to the Lexus.
I wouldn't be able to fit anything in it.
No, true, but it would be fairly efficient because they're much smaller engines because of power to weight.
Stick all my observation kits, sort of.
Just get like a pannier pack to stick it on the back of it. It'd be fine.
Just wear a pop bag.
That'd be huge. All the folders and everything.
Like the A-team. Like, what do I need today?
Yeah.
But I don't really know. But then I could just get an MR2 Roadster for half the price and probably have just as much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say.
Put a turbo on it.
We've discussed at great length about all the different models of MR2s, haven't we? Really, about I'm much more of an Mark II fan. The Mark IIIs are fine, but for some reason, to me, because they're so much shorter, they don't feel like what the MR2 was meant
It's
to
one
be.
of those things, like with the Supra, you had something that's iconic, and I don't care if anyone disagrees with me on that one. And then you made it a BMW, which obviously I don't care, but it's not what it should have been.
Yeah, it's not the essence of how it originally was.
So the GR Yaris, the effort that's gone into that, should have gone into the Supra, and then you would have something absolutely remarkable that was as iconic as the Mark IV.
Yeah.
But so with the Mark III, you then took the Mark II and you turned it into something just meh.
Yeah. So that is the end of today's review. Sorry if the chat kind of fizzled out and faded out earlier. We got to basically we were driving to a small breakfast meet, kind of catch up with some friends, and actually got there a little quicker than we anticipated, and kind of had to quickly roll up and finish the chatting a bit and the filming. So, but I mean, it is actually a very fun car to drive, very capable. As I say, the looks are purely down to the individual person, really, in terms of what it looks like and whether you're happy with it and things like that. The exhaust could be louder, but to be fair, when you're giving it some proper stick, it sounds great, and it is very rapid and very capable and planted on the road. So I mean, if you wanted a hot hatch, or as Case doesn't want me to say that, if you wanted a small hatchback that is got some go with it and give you a bit of a good smile on your face on a nice sunny day, then the BMW M135i is not a bad shout at all. So a huge thank you to Katie for coming out and letting me drive her car. I thank you guys for watching. It's been a long time. I'm still very rusty. I can't even remember half the things I used to do for the videos, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.